Hey guys, in this video, we'll be discussing about the Firebase security rules of the real-time database and how to configure it. In our previous video, while creating the database, we set the rules to be public, which is generally used only when the project is in development. The rules have to be updated before making the project live. To test out the rules we learn, we'll be using Unity and the rules playground. But the rules are universal and will work the same for apps as well as websites. Before we begin, if you like watching videos about development, please like this video and subscribe to our channel for more content. So let's get started. So security rules are used to tell Firebase who has read and write access to the database. Once deployed, these rules are live on the server and are enforced automatically at all times. Every read and write request will be completed only if the rules allow it. This helps us protect our data from being manipulated or misused. So to edit the rules, let's open our project in the Firebase console, go to Real-Time Database and click the Rules tab. So as you can see, the rules look very similar to a JSON object. The main object has a rules node and it contains .read and .write nodes. Right now the read and write nodes have a condition which dictates whether the read and write are accessible or not. Here, now is a predefined variable which stores the time at which the read or write request is made. So basically, if the current time is less than this, which is the Unix time for 12th May, read and write are allowed. We can quickly test this in our Unity project. I have reused the authentication and database code from the previous videos. If you want to check them out, the link is in the video description. As you can see, on clicking play, the update counter is working and there are no errors in the console. Now let's experiment with the rules. If I set read and write to false, it would not allow anyone to read and write. So I would not be able to access the database. Let's try this out using the rules playground. So let's try the read operation without authentication first and then with authentication. In both the cases, the line 3 is preventing reading and writing from the database. If we try it out in our project as well, we get an error saying permission denied while trying to increase the counter. Now before we continue, let's understand what are predefined variables. These variables help us to write rules. These can be used in the query and help us decide whether we want to allow a certain action or not. Few of them are data, that contains the data that is about to be read, updated or edited by the user. New data, that contains the data that is about to be entered by the user. Auth, which contains the auth info of the user trying to access the database. Now, which contains the current time. For example, we can use the auth variable and ensure that people who are authenticated only can read and write in our database. For this, we'll be checking for the UID parameter inside the auth object and ensure that it's not null. If it's null, it means that the user is not authenticated. On testing it on Playground, we can see that it's only allowing authenticated requests. Let's check in our app. So we get an error saying permission denied. Let's try authenticating. Now I've created a test user in my project and I'll be using its credentials. As you can see, it's now allowing the app to increase values. Now currently, whatever rules I've added are applied to the whole database. But what if I want to edit the rules of a particular node? In that case, I can create a node inside the rules node and define the rules in that. Now only that node will be affected and the rest of the database will be following the rules above. For example, if I only want the counter node to have authenticated requests, I can create a node inside the rules tab as counter and move the rules to it. And suppose I don't want anyone to access any of the other routes, I can just add read and write as false. So now the whole database is not accessible apart from the counter node, as this node rules override the rules above it. We can test it in the playground. Firebase rules can also be used to index and verify the data entered. I hope you found this video helpful. Please like this video and do let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you're interested in such videos, do subscribe to our channel.